ॐ श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः. So we will chant the first verse of the Viveka Chudamani. Mahita, you can follow me. Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta
सर्ववेदान्तसिद्धान्त
Gocharam Tamagocharam
गोचरं तमगोचरम्
Govindam Paramanandam
गोविन्दं परमानन्दम्
Sadgurum Pranatosmyaham.
सद्गुरुं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्।
So we have just entered the text last week. This is the prayer verse. Prayer to Isvara or prayer to Shankara to his Guru, either way. But it is telling us what we are looking for is that which is not knowable by any means of knowledge except through Vedanta Shastra. And I pray to the Guru because he is the one who will make that Shastra available to me, make it understandable to me. So very first verse we saw after the second verse was Jantunam Narajanma Dhurlabham Atah Pumstvam Tato Viprata Tasmat Vaidika Dharma Marga Parata Vidvatvam Asmat Param. Jantunam, for any living being, all possible lives are there. Among them, a human birth is very, very rare. And even if one has human birth, the free will is not free enough. One tends to be mechanical, one tends to be caught up in ragadvesha, so one is not able to do or think in what is to be done. That pumstvam, that free will, that effort, that humanness, which characterizes a human being, an ability to think, an ability to choose correctly, that is again very rare, even if one has human birth. If these are there, still that one is aware of the Vaidika dharma, the dharma of the Vedas. And in that dharma means there is something more than just artha and kama, something more than looking for just security needs and desire fulfillment. What is that? To be doing what is to be done. To be able to see that the way I am, the others are also feeling the same way. I don't like to be cheated. I don't like to be deceived. I don't like to be hurt. I don't like to be lied to. So whatever I don't want done to me, I don't want others. I should not be doing it to others too. So dharma can sometimes just mean punya and papa, adrishta, the unseen results of actions, where we are looking for punya karma. We are looking for good unseen results. That's a common interpretation of dharma. If that is the way dharma we look at, then what happens? One is interested in swarga. One is interested in going to heaven, etc. Even if one is interested in going to heaven, there is nothing wrong with that. Because so far as one follows a life of dharma, one is free to have any number of desires. One is free to wish for anything. Insofar as I keep dharma in view, my ambitions don't hurt me. But if I'm very committed to the ambition being fulfilled, otherwise I'm going to get upset, then that will lead me to a situation where I am not comfortable being myself. But that's the second thing. First thing is what? Ichha Shakti, I have freedom to desire. Jnana Shakti, The ability to know enables me to know what is right and what is not right. Good and bad are subjective. Right and not right can also be subjective. But right and not right here we mean dharma and adharma. What is in keeping with dharma? And what is the last word on dharma? The last word on dharma is Veda. So, dharma mulo Veda. That's what Manusmriti will tell. But while the last word is Veda, what does the Veda say is the last word? It says it is the conduct of a person who is free from the hold of Raga Dvesha, who is a jnani. That becomes a benchmark. So a person who does not need, who does not depend on anything else, how would he or she conduct themselves in a situation like this? So it is the conduct of a person who is free from the hold of likes and dislikes, the one who is informed about the Vedic Dharma, the one who is free to just be what he is. That person becomes the final benchmark for what is Dharma and Adharma. So this Dharma is not something that needs to be explicitly taught to a person, because that Dharma is something which is kind of etched into us. As human beings, it's etched into us. We know that other living beings also don't want to be hurt. This is the speciality of Dharma. Therefore, although the Veda is telling us what is Dharma, there too we consider the Veda is restating it. It is not teaching us. It is reaffirming what is Dharma. So it is not telling us that there's somebody who gave us commandments. It's revealed to us in our heart, in our mind. And that is really the Dharma. But then, when in doubt, where do you look at? You look at the Veda. And we saw there are two kinds of Dharma. One is called Samanya Dharma, which is universal to all human beings at all times, in all places. And the second is called Vishesha Dharma. Vishesha depends on time and place, depends on your situation, depends on your role, depends on the culture. So Vishesha Dharma will even include, dining table etiquette. How should I eat? Should I use a spoon and fork or should I not? Should I eat silently or should I eat talking? Should I have a cup of wine with me or should I not? It's all etiquette. So in a country or in a culture where all that is a norm, that's acceptable. But in other culture, it may not be. How we dress is again cultural. How we speak is cultural. Modes of salutation, cultural. So what is true in one culture may not be true in another culture. So the old adage is what? Be a Roman while in Rome. So you conform to the local customs to cause minimum hurt. That becomes your Vishesha Dharma. Similarly, in any given role, what should I do depends on what is the norm in that role. So even in corporate work, there's a corporate culture. Each company has its own culture. And it's a huge effort to build a certain kind of culture. It's not easy to build a culture. So that culture building is a job. Therefore, people in that culture will tend to behave in a given way. The norms are understood. So you can see that the human being tries to create an environment which is predictable to some extent. Therefore, there are some norms in society in different groupings. There are norms. And the norms, to the extent we follow, we know what is predictable, what is to be done, what is not to be done, what is expected. This had been formalized in the Vedic Dharma as Varnashrama Dharma. So there was a, a neat matrix that you had four kinds of, varnas, four varnas, the administrative and ruling class, the educationists and the priests, and then you had the people who worked in the lands of commerce, and you had people who had to help these people, who need to be mentored by these people. So these were the four varnas. And in each there was an age matrix. 0 to 1 to 25, 25 to 50, 50 to 75, 75 to 100. 75 to 100 is common to all. Sannyasa, if you go there. But the 1 to 50 can be quite distinct for each grouping. So this matrix actually gave us a lot of things as to what is to be done, what is not to be done. And that matrix doesn't exist today in that formal form. So Arjuna's problem was what? He has to fight. Not because it is Samanya Dharma, Vishesha Dharma. He has to fight because he belongs to the warrior class, kingly class, Kshatriya. And therefore it is his duty to protect Dharma. So that concept of Dharma was so ingrained that Arjuna has a problem walking away just like that. Therefore, he cannot just walk away unless he changes the station of life. Therefore, he wants to become a monk. So he is free from the hold of karma. But that value for dharma, you cannot go away from dharma. So society would not allow you to go away from dharma because you become ostracized in society. If you don't follow dharma, then you are excommunicated from the society. You don't belong to the social grouping. And if you don't belong to the social grouping, you don't belong to society. This is true even today in some areas. So even in communities which are not very well to do, they have norms. If a parent passes away, then they have to give a feast to the people in that community. If they don't do so, then they can be punished for it. So a person told me, he doesn't have money. He has to borrow 25,000 rupees to do this. Otherwise, nobody in the village will come to their house. That's the norm to this day. It's not something that's long ago in the past. Which means the norms had become were so well, you know, entrenched that you had to follow it just to live. If you didn't, society would look at that. That is how the external cultural invasion didn't occur to us so easily, because they had to force their way. They had to kill people, but people would not include them in society. If there's a wedding, they will not invite them. They are Varna Bhakya, Veda Bhakya. They don't belong to the Vedic realm. So this dharma had a huge, huge say in our lives. And unfortunately, that dharma has been weakened a lot. And there is the concept of dharma itself has undergone change. We don't know what is dharma today, even in this country. So, but Samanya dharma remains the same irrespective of date, time, and place. So what we can do, we at least follow Samanya dharma. Samanya dharma, if one follows, Samanya means what is common to all human beings. That is being honest, non-hurtful. These will help us grow into people who are free from conflict. Vishesh dharma is important, but that changes from time to time, and you will decide what is right for you in a given place and time. So tasmat Vaidika dharma marga parata. Therefore, even if you are a human being, even if your free will is free, even if you studied the Vedas, know what is dharma, whether you're committed to that dharma or you're committed to arthakama, that makes a difference. So that Vaidika dharma marga parata. Parata is commitment. Commitment to the Vaidika dharma. Vaidika dharma means Vaidika means that connect, that which is said in the Veda. Okay. That's the next thing. Then what next? What came next after that? Then we saw it is Vidvatvam tasmat param. Vidvatvam means what? Knowledge, being well informed. Now, this Vidvatvam, does it mean that you know the truth? Vidvatvam is knowing what the Veda has to say. Dharma Marga is over. Therefore, having some idea of what the Upanishad, the Vedanta portion has to say. But knowing what it says doesn't mean knowing it all the way as my truth. If that is known, there's no further step. It's over. Okay? So this vidvatta is what we call apatata jnanam. A knowledge which is in, what Swami would call paperback knowledge. You read a paperback and you know something about it. With that, what can you do? You are aware now. There is something more in life. There is something called moksha. There is something called absolute freedom. You become aware. If you look at a book in Sanskrit commentary on this, it will tell you it is paroksha jnanam. Vidvatvam is considered as paroksha jnanam. What is paroksha jnanam? Indirect knowledge. What is indirect knowledge? See, this is the way we talk about it. So right now, we are all in the path. Do we have knowledge of what is Atma? What is Anatma? No, I don't know. Does it mean you don't know at all? What can you say? Do you know? No, I don't know. Do you not know? No, it's not, I don't know. Where are you now? Even that is anirvachaniya. That is also in between, okay? So the fact is, you cannot say I don't know. You cannot say I know. What should I say about you? Vidvatvam do you have or not? Assuming you have been exposed to Vedanta for length of time, you cannot say Vidvatvam nasti. Therefore, all right, you follow life of dharma. All right, you got some paperback knowledge or exposed some real teaching. It doesn't mean I know, but I know. I know what the Veda says about freedom. Correct? That much I know. So if you understand that, then what comes next? Assuming you have been Dharma Marga Paraha, assuming you have gained that mind with relatively free from conflict and no interest in Arthakama, assuming, then what do you do next? Then you have to do the inquiry that Upanishad talks about. Who are you? What is your truth? What is the truth of the world? That is called Atmanatma Vivechanam. Realistically, there is nothing called Anatma. There is nothing called non-Atma. Anatma means not Atma. Like known, unknown, Atma, Anatma. Okay? Very simple. English and Sanskrit are similar in that respect. Anatma means not Atma. Therefore, not Atma means what? Not me. Atma means I. Not I is what? You tell me what is not I. Depends on what you call I. And what you call I depends on what you call not I. They are two sides of the same coin. So what do you call not I? Obviously depends on what you conclude is I. And what is I? I is that without which you are not, which never changes. What is not I? Everything that comes and goes is not I. Everything that you can be without is not I. Nobody thinks the glasses are me. Nobody thinks the hearing aid is me, even if you have one. Even if you have a heart implant, you don't think that is me. It's very deep inside you. Still, that's not me. Then what am I? I am the one who has been from birth, at least till now. I'm continuous. I'm not broken. Akhanda. That's what I call me. But that I is unchanging. Body is changing. Senses are changing. Mind is changing. Whatever is changing, whatever becomes known to you, cannot be you. Simple. Cannot be me. If it cannot be me, what am I? What am I? If everything that becomes known through the mind is not I, because it comes to be known, because to whom does it come to be known? To me. So any knowledge must be preceded by your presence, correct? If you are not there, who will know? Therefore, I must exist before anything else can be talked about. So any knowledge which becomes evident to me, I already am. Therefore, how am I going to know that? By making it evident. It's an impossibility. You can never know who you are by some thought in your head. But you can know what you are not by seeing everything that comes as a thought in your head or its object cannot be you. What you are not, you can see. What you are, you cannot see. Not with your senses, perception, not with inference. So where does it leave you? That is why agocharam. But sarva Vedanta gocharam can be known. And therefore, what's the method Vedanta says? It says you inquire. Atmanatma vivechanam. Tasmat param. All right? So that you do. Then what? Atmanatma vivechanam. When you do vivechanam, finally you have to arrive at the fact that I am the truth of the whole universe. Swanubhavaha brahmatmana samsiti. I understand I am the truth of all that is here, everything that comes and goes. I am the truth of the waker and waking world, dreamer and dream world, sleeper and sleep world. There is nothing but me. That is called brahmatmana samsiti. And that indeed is called freedom, muktihi. And that is not tenable, is not possible unless you have earned tons of grace through hundreds of lives. Shatakoti janmasu kritaihi punyaihi vina na labhyate. Not possible. This is what we saw last time. Okay, now we go further. Mahita, you can follow me. Durlabham trayamevaitat
दुर्लभं त्रयमेवैतत्
devanugrahetukam
देवानुग्ररहेतुकम्
manusyatvam mumukshutvam
मनुष्यत्वं मुमुक्षुत्वं
mahapurusha samshrayah
महापुरुषसंश्रयः
labdhva kathanchit
लब्ध्वा कथञ्चित्
narajanma durlabham
नरजन्मदुर्लभम्
tatrapi pumstvam
तत्रापि पुंस्त्वम्
श्रुतिपारदर्शनम्
श्रुतिपारदर्शनम्
यस्वात्ममुक्त्यै
यस्वात्ममुक्त्यै
नयतेत मूढधीः
नयतेत मूढधीः
स आत्मः स्वम्
स आत्मः स्वम्
विनिहन्त्य सद्ग्रहात्
विनिहन्त्य सद्ग्रहात्
इतः कोऽन्वस्ति मूढात्मा
इतः कोऽन्वस्ति मूढात्मा
यस्तु स्वार्थे प्रमाद्यति
यस्तु स्वार्थे प्रमाद्यति
दुर्लभं मानुषं देहम्
दुर्लभं मानुषं देहम्
प्राप्य तत्रापि पौरुषम्
प्राप्य तत्रापि पौरुषम्.
Okay. So now I just read 3 verses, so it's easy at one stretch. But the meanings are all very related. See, this is why you can see that Vivek Chudamani is very repetitive. What we've seen already in second verse, you will see now being talked about further. Durlabham trayamevaitat. Now he is saying three things are very uncommon. See, everything in the second verse is uncommon, okay? Because each one is better than the rest. But now he is looking at three in this verse. Durlabham trayamevaitat. Trayam means triad. What are they? Manushyatvam, mumukshutvam, mahapurusha samshrayah. Three things. What are they? We'll look at. And what will bring them about? Devanugraha hetukam. Hetukam means it is born of a hetu. It's born of a cause. What is the cause? Anugraha, grace. Whose grace? The Lord's grace. Devanugraha. So, what we saw in the previous verse, Shatakoti janmasu kritaihi punyaihi vina na labhyate. That punya is grace. Now that is being said. Same thing. Devanugraha hetukam. Without grace, without earned punya, these three are very, very difficult to get. Durlabham. They are not easy to gain. What are they? Manushyatvam, Mumukshutvam, Mahapurusha Samshraya. What do they mean now? What is Manushyatvam? Manushyatvam means being born as a human being. Jantunam Narajanma Durlabham we saw, same meaning. Manushyatvam. Being born as a human being, and now you can add to that having that humanness, having that freedom, having that ability to choose properly. That you can add in Manushyatvam. Manushyatvam. Second thing he mentions is what? Mumukshutvam. So he has left all the others he mentioned in the last one in between. Vaidika dharma marga parata, vidvatvam, all those are assumed now. So what is now rare? Mumukshutvam. What is tvam business? Wherever it says tvam, it means a status of having something, that ness. So mumukshutvam is mumukshu-ness. Now what is mumukshu? Mumuksha is a desire to be free. Mumuksha is a desire to be free. Mumukshu is one who is never free from the desire to be free. Means always desires to be free. Recognizes that he only wants to be free. This is a big difference, okay, between the two. Mumuksha is, you hear of your near and dear ones passing, you go for a condolence meeting, and you desire to become free from this whole problem of life and death. That's called mumuksha. But by the time the cremation is done, you're hungry enough. And you're looking forward to life again. Called smashana vairagya. For some time you have vairagya. Mumuksha is there. Or when I come to Vedanta class and I meet all my friends, mumuksha comes up. It's very strong. When I sit in for my puja, mumuksha comes. When I say Vishnu Sahasranam, it comes. I can hear the name and I can understand some meanings and I feel connected. But then it vanishes in it, very soon when something else comes in front of me. This is called mumuksha. It's not that I don't know what is desire for freedom, because everybody knows what they're looking for in a way. Because that you're looking for something shows me, or it makes it evident that I am not comfortable being who I am. I'm looking for a freedom from my current condition, my current status, whatever it might be. Freedom is not in all fronts, but freedom in terms of saying I want to be free from some sense of lack, some sense of discontent, some sense of feeling small, incomplete. That is common. Whether it's a child, whether it's a middle-aged person or old person, a human being, why we do anything? Why do I wear my glasses? Because somebody told me I look studious with the glasses. That could be a reason too. It could also be the fact that I don't see well. All right. So it's what makes you wear glasses. Now I wear glasses because I have a vision issue. But what kind of frame I choose? There are multiple reasons, okay? What kind of a glass I put on it has multiple reasons. Should be tinted or not tinted? Should it be UV coated or not? So I'm saying in every step, we want to have some sense of accomplishment. We don't want it lacking. When I get my pair of glasses, I don't want it to be lacking. I don't want glasses won't be lacking. I don't want to feel that I am lacking something after I got my glasses. When I eat, I don't want to be hungry. That's why I eat. When I drink, I want to be free from thirst. When I listen to music, I want to be free from boredom, perhaps, or I want to enjoy the lyrics. So, in every action, if it is deliberate, I have to add that. Because otherwise, what? Mechanically, I do a lot of things, which nobody can give a reason to because it's mechanical. But if it's deliberate, there is a reason for it. And the reason is something is not acceptable as it stands right now. So the freedom from something I lack, something I don't like, is common human pursuit. And that when you recognize what I'm really looking for is that freedom from a sense of lack, freedom from a sense of want at an absolute level, then it is momoksha at that moment. But then when I think more, artha pursuit, security pursuit, is only to be free from insecurity. Kama pursuit, fulfillment of some desire, is again freedom from that need for that experience. I'm an experience hunter and I want to get that experience. If this is clear to me, then what do I understand? That in and through every pursuit, what I'm looking for is nothing but freedom, moksha. If this is understood, then I change. Even when I'm eating food, I know what I'm really seeking is a freedom from a sense of want. If I'm going for a temple trip, I know what I'm looking for a freedom from what I want. If I'm going for a discotheque, that's also the same story. And I know one more thing. I recognize slowly. This is what I want, but how do I get there? How do I get that? So manushyatvam I have. Mumukshutvam somehow I arrive at. Okay? What is mumukshutvam? Now I know that in and through all my pursuits in life, what I'm really seeking is an acceptable me. I want to be acceptable to myself. Whenever I say the world is unacceptable, I cannot accept myself when relating to the world at that time. That's my fact. That's my reality. And I recognize this. If I recognize this, then, next question will be what? All right, so how do I get it? How do I become free? One answer is what? It's impossible. Because I wish for so many things. You know, when I go in Bangalore, I wish the traffic was smooth and uncluttered. Over. Dream is over already, okay? Or you have a dream. What? You look at some house. You're going through a nice locality, you see huge yard, you know, nice house, garden. Where do I live? In a box called an apartment? No greenery around. And I wish I had a house like that with a park in front of me. Wonderful. That's what I would like to have. Again, pipe dream. I can't get it because I can't afford it. Okay. Affording an apartment, I can't. Right now, I'm renting one. Where's the question of buying one house? Impossible. Then I see a flashy car go by. I wish I had a car like that. I'm on a two-wheeler going around. So I'm saying anything you look at, I have so many wishes. Have I fulfilled more wishes or I have more unfulfilled wishes in life? The number of unfulfilled wishes will definitely exceed the number of fulfilled wishes, okay? You try to remember how many wishes you fulfilled. You will find you'll count very few. But you try to count how many wishes are unfulfilled, you can count many. That's generally the truth. Because what we didn't get sticks. That forms our personality. And what we got is forgotten. Children will do that. You compare. You gave this to my brother, you gave that to him, gave it to him. I didn't get any of it. Then parents have to remind what all they've done for this fellow too. So the fact is, we always have a focus on what we didn't get. With this thing, Now I know I want to be free from all my wants. Am I going to become free by getting all my wants? And some of my wants are very interesting. My past should have been different. You know, I wish I had become a physician. I've become an engineer. What am I going to do about that? Nothing you can do. Correct. So can you ever fulfill it? So is this mumukshutvam you have? Till now, at least sometimes you were okay. But now you know you're constantly looking for freedom and you never will never become free. So hopeless case? No, it's not a hopeless case. That is why the next one, Mahapurusha Samshrayam. What is Mahapurusha Samshrayam? Mahapurusha is what? Mahancha asau Purushaha. Translation can be what? A great person. Who is a great person? Don Trump. Great person. Can it be? So, you know, Mahapurusha is who is Mahapurusha now? Depending on what you aspire for, okay? For somebody it'll be Shah Rukh Khan. For somebody it'll be Donald Trump, maybe. But who is Mahapurusha in this context? It's a person who can solve your problem, who can give you that freedom you're looking for. Give you means not on a platter, because you have to enjoy your own freedom finally, you know. Therefore, Mahapurusha here means one who will tell you about the truth of yourself and free you from the sense of seeming lack centered on yourself. The lack is not real. Somebody who can point out to you that you can smile despite nothing in the world changing should reveal something to you, that your smile does not depend on your fulfilling any needs. Your ability to be free is not dependent or mortgaged on so many things to be fulfilled. You do not have to fulfill all your wishes to be free. In fact, you are smiling without fulfilling any wish when you saw a beautiful sunrise. Did you wish for it? You just saw it. So it should reveal something to me. Because whatever we're looking for ultimately, do we look for something unknown or we look for something known? You look for the happy you. Do you know the happy you or not? If we don't know, you can't look for him. See, suppose you're always sad. Imagine, okay? You never smiled in your life. Do you think you'll have a problem? You never smiled in your life. I'll tell you what, we'll be happy not smiling. Why? Because it doesn't know what it means to smile. We just don't know. If I don't know what it means to smile, I won't miss a smile. But I have smiled. Every one of us smiled. And I know how it feels to be smiling. And therefore, I cannot settle for anything less. That is what Momoksha is. You know, I want to be the happy me. It's not I want something. I kept thinking by getting that, I'll become happy. By getting this, I'll become happy. By doing that, I'll become happy. By avoiding it, I'll become happy. But the fact is what? I want to be the happy me. I don't want anything. I want to be happy me. And at happy me, I'm looking for all over the place. So, who is the Mahapurusha? One who can point to me, show me that what you're looking for, you cannot achieve by gaining any number of things or getting rid of any number of things. First step, this freedom that you're looking for is not centered on the world. It's not centered on what you accomplished or what you failed, what you call failed. Then what is centered on? It is centered on you. Further, fact happens to be that you are already what you want to be. I will show you that you are already what you want to be. And therefore, when I tell you you're already what you want to be, you can say, how? I'm not free. You are free. I'm not free. Come on, I'll show you you're free. Relax. Who will tell you that? That person is called Mahapurusha. Like Mahavakya. Mahapurusha is who tells you about your greatness. He doesn't talk about his greatness. He tells you you are as great as I am. This is Mahapurusha. He does not tell you I'll make you something. He'll say you're already the best. You're already the most exalted. Then why I don't know? Why I don't feel like that? Just because you don't know. Therefore, this is why we say satsangatve nisangat. Satam sangha. Another way of saying it is satsanga. What is satsanga? The company of people who know. Satsanga can also mean sadhu sangha, a dharmatma, not a person who knows, but who has dharma in his life. He may not know the truth, but he has that inner calm. He's comfortable accepting himself more or less in life. That is also a great step because you see a person who is comfortable being himself to some extent, and he materially he has done lot less than you, accomplished much less than you. Now you wonder how that guy is happy while you are always stressed. It will make you do something about it. Therefore, that is also very important. So when what changes cannot be brought about by any amount of reading can be brought about by the association of the person like that. Just by association, something will osmotically come into you. You will start seeing that, hey, what makes this fellow so comfortable? So something will start working in your head, okay? And he will tell you, okay, so what? You are running, you missed the bus, and oh, I missed this bus. So what? Relax. He's with you. He says, so what? You relax. We have another 20 minutes. No big deal. You know, do some japa on the way. Whatever, okay? All I'm saying is you have some time. So what? Anyway, you missed the bus. Why are you getting worked up? You getting worked up makes the bus come or what? Will it come back for you? Take it easy. He doesn't even take it easy. He is easy. He was also running with you. He missed the bus. He's relaxed. So I'm saying just a sadhu sangha can do things to you. Now, Mahapurusha is what? The one who will convert you from being one who wants to be free and therefore is fluttering all around the place to a person who understands this freedom is only by knowing that I am already free. Therefore, there's a big conversion program. The conversion program is from Mumukshu to Jigyasu. What is Jigyasu? One who knows, who wants to know. Jigyasa is desire to know. Jigyasu is one who wants to know. What does he want to know? He wants to know what Mahapurusha has to tell him. That there is nothing to be done. He is already what he wants to be. That's the Jigyasa. He understands that any amount of doing will connect you to things or disconnect you from things which are an event in time. And any event in time can be undone in the next moment. You thought, you got the tariff deal with America, and next day you understood the tariff deal is off. Then you again thought you got it, and next day he'll come with 500% tariff. You never know what he will do, right? Therefore, what predictability do you have? Today he will say you're a good friend. Tomorrow he'll say you're the worst fellow. Anything that you get can be lost. Especially when you look at somebody else for gratification. When you look for others to approve you. Today you get your Facebook page likes, all likes. Tomorrow you get all dislikes, okay? How long does it take to go from like to dislike? Not too long. Every politician knows that. They're always counting their popularity ratings because you don't know when the next election comes, where they will be. What does it take to lose popularity? Just be in power for some time, you lose popularity. Because people are always going to be dissatisfied. So now they just blame whoever is in power and they'll move to the next guy. That's it. Very straightforward. Right? Therefore, understand anything that is gained in time, anything that depends on a gain or a loss, external gain or loss, including weight loss or weight gain. That is also external, okay? Centered on this body, which is not you. Anything which is centered on other than what I call I, anything which is incidental, anything which is an event is temporary. Therefore, do you want to gain this freedom every day or you want to gain it once and be free for good? I want to gain it once and be free for good. You cannot gain it and be free for good because if you gain it, it will be lost. Then how will I become free? You should know you were never bound. Come on, give me a break. Yeah, we'll give you a break. That's exactly what's called a Mahapurusha. Real break, not a heartbreak. So, Mahapurusha Samshraya. Therefore, what is being said, it is so important that you are directed by someone who understands. See, in this, when you do the Lagunyasa and Rudram, you'll say Yantacha me. There's one Yantacha me. Yanta means one who directs, Yama, Niyame. One who you understand there's an Ishvara who ordains things in your life. You also can bring in a guru there who will tell you what you should live, how you should live, what is right. So a person who knows means who is well informed himself or herself. So what do we say? Who is my first guru? Parents. Matriman, Pitriman, Acharyaman, Veda. Shastra says if you have a parent, a proper father, a proper mother, a cultured father, a cultured mother, a cultured teacher, you got it. Because parents have set you up already. You're on the right trajectory. You won't go wrong. So I'm saying that everything is what? Grace. Now, you know Mahapurusha exists. How do I know who is whether he's Mahapurusha or not? Do you measure the length of the dadi? How long is the beard? You decide. What do you look at to decide whether the person is a right person? Can you understand whether he's talking sense or not? You don't know it. We don't know ourselves. How can you measure a person, a teacher who has to teach you what you don't know? Shastra tells you you should look for a guru. Who is that guru? He is Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam. Means what? One who knows the Shastra and one who is committed to this freedom alone, Brahmanishtam. How do I know what he is committed to? How do I know he knows? He wears orange. Maybe he knows, maybe he doesn't. Maybe he knows, but he is unable to communicate. Brahmanishta. He is free, but he cannot make me free. So how am I going to find the right Mahapurusha in my life? And how do I know if I found him or not? One question, Swami, how do you find a guru? So Swami would always say, so conclusion, I am not the right person. Therefore, what can I tell him? So how are you going to find the right person? So then, the one who can make you see is the right person. But can you see in half a minute? You have to invest time. Emotionally, you get invested in the relationship. And then there can be heartbreak too. So how are you going to find out? Not possible without grace. Finding the right teacher is grace. Not possible without grace. So, Mahapurusha Samshraya. What about all these three? Durlabham Trayametat. Manushyatvam, Mumukshutvam, Mahapurusha Samshraya. And what are they? Devanugraha Hetukam. Understand the importance of Devanugraha. Without Anugraha, without Punya, it is not possible. Devanugraha Hetukam. Therefore, we should understand that starting with Manushyatvam, free will, that free will must be used to free the free will more and more. We have to gain more and more grace. So, the word grace we will use generally to mean you can't tell exactly which activity produced a favorable situation. See, a bee goes to different flowers and picks up the honey, right, from each flower. Finally, when you get the honey from the beehive, you can't tell which flower it is. Can you? You only know it's the flower juice. Same way, you reached out to someone in need. You helped somebody in a given way. You did something good for someone. You took care of your of people who you have to take care of in life. You did all this. Which one created the good situations for you in life? You can't tell. Which one gave you human life? You can't tell. Why you're born in this family with a good set of parents? You can't tell. Right? Why you what punya will bring you a right guru? You can't tell. What punya will make you stay in the marg of in the road of dharma? You can't tell. Therefore, we use the word grace to mean some punya, some good deed fructifying today to make your life better. So the word grace stands for, you cannot clearly say which one, but you know nothing comes from nothing. Therefore, if you are having a good situation, you must have done something good. That's what we call grace. But nothing is free. I don't get a free smile. No. Smile is brought to your face because you have earned it already to a good extent. You have your free will, but I'm saying past free will accounts for a lot of things too. But I don't cry over past free will. I already have my present free will to act. We have to use Ichha Shakti, Kriya Shakti, and they have to be guided by Jnanam. My freedom is to know whether I know what is right or not, and to do what I think is to be done. That's my freedom, human freedom. So, Durlabham. Therefore, what is being stressed again? One, Swamiji would say, you should take every opportunities to get more punya under your belt because you need it. We don't know when you will fall off the track. You need punya. So, not being prayerful. Swamiji, I know we have to say prayer, but I don't have time for it. Then punya won't come. Swamiji, I've already come to Vedanta. That after that, you need lots of punya to stay with it. Therefore, it is Devanugrahetukam. Then the same idea is further said. You know what? Labdhva kathanchit narajanma durlabham. Vivek Chudamani is, the verses are all different meters. It's not easy to chant them all in one. Like Bhagavad Gita is very easy to learn chanting. Vivek Chudamani is not sulabham because they all have different meters. So, labdhva, having gained, kathanchit, somehow, punya, by some punya. Narajanma durlabham. Narajanma, a human birth. And what is its nature? Not easy. Because you imagine how many billions of types of organisms exist in the universe and in how many numbers. In our own elementary canal, how many, organisms live, which you feed with probiotics, and we kill them with antibiotics. So these are huge in number. So if you look at it, what's the probability of a human birth? What is the probability of human birth? If you imagine how many life forms are there, what are the numbers of each life form, right? And now the probability of a human life form will be how much? You have to imagine, okay? It will be 0.000000000000000 something, right? That's what it will be. Therefore, kathanchit, somehow, by some great grace, labdva kathanchit, narajanma durlabh, having gained human life, not human wife, human life. Then tatrapi pumstvam shrutipara darshanam. And there also you have managed to bring out the humanness, the ability to use your will, your ability to take risks, your ability to do things. Shrutipara darshanam. And you have become well informed in terms of what Vedas have to tell you, Vedika Dharma, etc. With all this, yes, yaha swatmamukyai nayateta mudhadhihi. Having gained this much, if one does not put an effort, nayateta, does not strive for what? Swatmamukyai, for the for that freedom which is already yours. And you have come to know that there is a freedom like this. You understand there is something called moksha purushartha. Having known that, if one does not strive for it, what is he called? Mudhadhihi. Mudha dhihi yasya saha. Mudhadhihi bahurihi. One who's confused, who doesn't know priorities in life. So he says, first let me enjoy my meal, then I will think of moksha. You know? So the fact is, mumukshutvam means what? That desire for moksha, freedom. That mukshutvam is also presented in various degrees. So one degree is what? I want it and I want nothing but that. As though my head is on fire. My hair is on fire. What will I do if my hair is on fire? Can you tell me where there's water around? No. You will go and find, if there's no water, you roll on the ground. You'll do something to get your hair off fire, right? That is called atyanta moksha. Means tivra moksha. On the other extreme is what? He says, by chance, if moksha it comes to me, I'll take it. If I run into it on the way. Okay? I mean, I'm not looking for it. If it happens, it's okay. Right? It doesn't matter. I'm happy with my bread and butter. In between is all the other fellows. One is tivra moksha, one more is ati manda moksha. No fire in the belly for it. When people don't have fire in the belly, even for a job, what can you say for this? Fellow doesn't have money. Fellow doesn't have any house. Fellow doesn't have a proper life. And he is so relaxed, sleeping all the time, not doing anything. And no desire to do anything. That's called laziness, tamas. Right? Being lazy won't take us anywhere. And some of us are lazy even with a lot of things working for us. Moksha is not something for the lazy person. Won't come. Therefore, one has to strive for it. Without initiative, oh, I am already free, right? Veda tells me I'm already free. Good. Then what's the need to do anything? I'm already free. I'm already free. You can only say I'm already free, like the parrot in the net. The parrot is taught, hey, be careful, hunter is coming. All the parrots are told. And then after a while, all the parrots are screaming, hunter's coming, be careful, hunter's coming, be careful. And where are they all sitting? They are all in the net and talking like this. So this is a story, but we have sometimes that we keep parroting something. That's called parroting, okay, without understanding. I am already free, right? So someone told me long ago, I know what you're doing. I know I'm everything. Very interesting. The person says, I know. Means what? The fellow is stressed out, but he thinks he knows. By knowing the word moksha, you don't get freedom. Without an effort, there is no freedom. But an effort has to be well directed. Listening to a class is not only effort. The effort is in terms of dharma, effort in terms of earning punya. It's all needed. Without that, things don't work. Therefore, that effort has to be put forth. Till when? Till I have this clear understanding that nothing else really matters. My problem is centered on myself. Until then, at least, effort is necessary. Then knowledge alone can solve my problem, is clear to me. That's when the conversion from mumukshu to jigyasu has really taken place. Mahapurusha can make it happen, but whether it will happen is centered on you, on your ability and your thinking and your grace. And therefore, he's saying, if a person has a human body, has a head which can think, and doesn't strive for moksha, he's a deluded fellow. He's a confused guy. He doesn't know he's wasting his life. Mudadihi. And what does he do? This mudadihi. Saha atmaha swam vinihanti asadgrahat. Atmaha. Atmanam hanti iti atmaha. One who destroys himself. Fellow who doesn't go for this freedom when he knows what is true is called what? One who is committing suicide, harakiri. One who is suicidal. Why? Because, when the limitless is at your hand, at your disposal, you exchange it for something which is, one movie ticket. What would that be? Wouldn't that be suicidal? I mean, suicide here means you are wasting a life which is worth limitless. So they will say, you 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 have you're begging for wealth, right? Begging for money. And what's your paperweight? A large diamond. You don't know it's a diamond, okay? You're looking for it. Therefore, this Atmaha means a person who has wasted his life. See, you need not physically kill yourself. This body can give you a knowledge of freedom. And this body you don't use, this opportunity you don't use to gain the limitless. What can we call that? Not using what you have is called, see, in here you're saying Atmaha. In Gita, what do you hear? Kripanaha. A miserly fellow. Why is he miser? He's unable to use the buddhi he has. That's exactly mudadihi here. You are unable to use your buddhi to gain the limitless. That is called suicide here. It's as good as committing suicide because you wasted a lifetime of opportunity. All right? Who is being talked about? A person who has recognized or somehow has been, blessed enough to know there's a goal called moksha, know it is possible for him because it's himself. If you have to accomplish something other than you, it may not happen. But if you know it's yourself, and the only thing that stands between me and that freedom is my own, lack of knowledge of the truth of myself, it's not far away from me. It's very much me. Then what comes between me and that freedom is only my avidya, my ignorance. Having gone that far, if I waste my life away, not recognizing this before I pass or drop this body, what a colossal waste. Ihachet avedit atha satyamasti. Nachediha vedit mahati vinashti. That's what Shastra has to say. That's what he's presenting here. So he is saying he is a suicide fellow. He's committing suicide. So Atmaha swam vinihanti. He destroys himself. How? How do you destroy yourself? Asadgrahat. That's important. The reason I destroy myself is because I'm holding on to what is not real. Asad graha. Graha means grahanam is holding. Grahanam is holding. Therefore, a crocodile is called graha or graha. You know, crocodile grip, even you have clips called crocodile clips. They hold well. And crocodile in Sanskrit is one which holds. That's what is called a crocodile. It's got a vice grip. Vice grip is because of vice, but this is crocodile grip, okay? So asadgraha means what? Do you hold on to asat or asat holds you? Do you hold on to arthakama pursuits or do they hold you? Swamiji, they hold me. That's what it feels like, okay? Swamiji, I am a householder. Means house holds you or what? Do you hold the house or house holds you? If you hold the house, you can drop it. If the house holds you, you can't get away from it. But what's the reality? The reality is nothing can hold me. I have freedom to drop anything. I have freedom. But am I free enough is another matter. Whether I'm free enough is another matter. But freedom is there in human being, cannot be denied to you. Tell me, if that freedom was not there, how would a person say in the army, how would he give up his life? He knows he's walking into a situation where he may not come back from. Or the other fellows, the religious fellows, they are also not anything ordinary in the sense that they know they're going to blow themselves up. Fellow goes in a car and his dream is to blow himself up and inflict maximum damage. Does he blow himself up or not? What can you do to stop that fellow who is willing to blow himself up? You can't stop him. He's unstoppable. You have to somehow catch him before he does it, right? So I'm saying, if you're not afraid of death, if you're willingly able to go to your death, then I ask you, what freedom do you not have? It's all a matter of how I see it in my life. Whatever I think I cannot give up, I cannot give up. And whatever I think I can give up or I should give up, I give up generally. So the value we hold for things in life, either love or hate, I want to hold on to it or I want to avoid it like plague. This is what makes my will unfree. My will is not free because it's only free to the extent that I can do what I want to do. But I can't let go because there's so much value in something else. I will get moksha if you guarantee I will get moksha right now. Hey, you are already free. No, I don't believe you. See, if I have to become a billionaire, how much effort I need? I am right now 100 rupee fellow. I have to become first 1,000 rupee fellow, then 10,000, then, 100,000, then a million, then billion. How much effort it takes? Now, limitless means how much effort it must take. This is our calculus. Therefore, how can I ever become free from all limitation by dropping everything? Not by dropping. It's neither by dropping nor by adding. It is by knowing that you already are free. Just dropping doesn't give freedom. And just sitting in a class doesn't give freedom. Just doing meditation doesn't give freedom. Finally, knowledge is as good as what you understand. Whatever it takes to understand has to be understood. But the first step is priority is, do I want moksha or not? No, a bird in hand is worth two in the bush. Therefore, what? I have my bread, I have my house, that's enough. Moksha next life mein dekhenge. It's easy to say that, right? Because asadgraha, I hold on to something. Or you say, all right, let me first finish my job. I will retire, then I will do this. This is all meant for retirement anyway, not now. Or somebody will say, I first have to, let me see my grandchildren, then I will go for this. Whatever it might be. But I'm saying, so far as there is something more important for me, which means moksha becomes secondary. Or moksha becomes one of many goals. And this, I'll tell you, is true for many of us even after a lot of listening because the value doesn't go away. Value for other pursuits doesn't go away. Insecurity doesn't go away. And therefore, to say I will go only after moksha again requires thinking and grace too. And probably Mahapurusham Shreya. All of them, which one weighs in on one's life, we can't tell. Because for each person, the background is different. For somebody, one more push from the teacher may do it. For somebody, one push from teacher may plunge him into more trouble at times because he was not ready. So it's extremely difficult to say what is required, what will help. Therefore, Devanugraha is so important. I can only pray, Bhagavan, lead me to the right way. So this is what it's all highlighting the importance of asadgraha, letting go what I'm holding on to recognize that dharma, artha, kama, ultimately they're all asat. They're not as real as they appear to be. They're not solid. The only thing solid is that which will never change, which will never go away. Unchanging reality. And that happens to be me, it has to be discovered. Until then, the unchanging reality is unknown. If we examine, what is it that we know which is unchanging? Is there anything unchanging that we know? Anything at all? Because everything we know is known in time, and time means change. Therefore, is there anything unchanging we know? Can we bump into it in time? It's impossible. Therefore, if there is something unchanging, it is Ajnata Atma alone. We say Brahman because Brahman is a better word than Ajnata Atma because if I tell you you are already free, sometimes it's hard. But there is one Brahman by knowing which you will become free. By gaining which you'll be all happy. Wonderful. So now you are looking for Brahman. And the way Brahman is defined, you will fall back into your own lap. That's what Shruti does. It's a trick. You go for Brahman. And then once you get Brahman, you'll be fine. I'll go after Brahman. And finally, the way Brahman is defined, you can't see it, you can't hear it, you can't think of it, you can't objectify it, you can't bump into it. Then what is it? You have to know. It can be known, definitively known. It's like a puzzle where the solution is you, and you keep looking all over the place to solve the puzzle until someday, somehow it strikes you. That's me. Then the solution can be worked on. But until that spark comes to you, it's hard to see that you don't need to look out for it. And even if you get that spark, the old values, the old thoughts die hard. That's why asad graha, you hold on to what is not true. Because the only thing we know to be true is what we can perceive. More than what we can believe. Heaven is a belief. Punya is a belief. But what do you know? I have this body. I have some money. I have some things. These are real or not? If these are real, then what is my normal thinking? I told you, bird in hand is worth two in the bush. Or you have to be that person who says, well, it's better to go after the bush because I don't even know if the bird in hand will stay here. It'll fly away. Or you are after the big fish, you don't like to be small. That's why an entrepreneur comes. He doesn't mind taking a risk. You drop a steady job, you take a risk because you believe you can make it, perhaps. The dream. Asadgraha, if it's there, you can't let go. You have to fulfill dreams. And I'll tell you what, for some person, fulfilling a few dreams may be necessary because without that, the self-esteem is extremely low. You know, if all my life I have just pretended that I have accomplished something, it won't work. I can't cheat myself. I have to prove to myself I am somebody who can accomplish something. And if that is required, even being a go-getter for some time may be part of adhikaritva. So asadgraha prevents me from going. And therefore, if I don't go after moksha with human body, with some understanding of moksha, then it is a case of suicide. Then itah konvasti moodhatma yastu swarte pramadyati. Here, you know, kahanu asti moodhatma. Who is that idiot? Benign idiot, okay? Yastu swarte pramadyati. One who is indifferent to his own welfare, his own good. If you know what is good for you, why would you not do it? Who would not do it? Therefore, he says, who is like that who would be indifferent, not caring about his own welfare, swarte? Durlabham manusham deham tatra prapya tatrapi paurusham. Having a human body and having a will, the ability to do things, the free will, with that, which idiot would not do what is good for him? So all this to show what? The importance of, the person has already gone for arthakama, dharma. And then we're only talking of the push to moksha here. We are not talking of a person who has no artha, no kama. Vivek Chudamani is assuming a person who has lived a life, probably lifetimes of dharma. And now the jump he has to make, the quantum leap, is from dharma artha kama to moksha. Till now, he has three purusharthas in life: artha, kama, dharma. Now, he understands all three are fulfilled in one. That's the only one he's really seeking. That's what will make him a mumukshu. And once he's a mumukshu, he has to go to Mahapurusha and become a jigyasu. Therefore, these steps are where you need that extra energy to put that, to make the electron go to the next higher energy level, so to say. So, but being said in language as what? It is your initiative. Paurusham. There has to be an initiative on your part. Otherwise, it won't happen. It won't happen like nahi suptasya simhasya pravishanti mukhe mrigaha. Deer don't go and enter the mouth of a sleeping lion. The lion has to go and hunt. All right? Then he says what? Pathantu shastrani yajantu devan kurvantu karmani bhajantu devataha आत्मैक्यबोधेन विनावमुक्तिः न सिद्ध्यति ब्रह्मशतान्तरेऽपि. It says, Pathantu Shastrani. Swami, I will attend all classes. I will go to 3-year course. Yeah, you can study all you want. Pathantu Shastrani. Let them read. Yajantu Devan. Let them go and do all worship of the Devas. Kurvantu Karmani. Let them do all kinds of actions. Bhajantu Devataha. Let them resort to all Devatas. But you know what? All these are important. Note, all these are important. All these are necessary. But Atmaikya bodhena bina muktihi na siddhyati brahma shatantarepi. Finally, what clinches the matter is whether you understood yourself to be free. Whether I understood myself. So understand, it looks as though the study of Shastra is being put down. It looks as though the worship of devatas is being put down. It looks as though doing karma is being put down. Commitment to devatas being put down. What is being said are all those are meant for one thing. They're only meant for me to know that there is nothing but me. Atma Aikya Bodha. It's not Atma Bodha only. Okay? Atma Bodha means what? Self knowledge. Now, I have self knowledge. What do you have self knowledge? I am free. Enough. That is talking. Do you see something other than you? Yes, I see you. Wonderful. If you see something other than you, you're not free. Swamiji, which means everybody else should die for me to be free. Hey, even if everybody dies, sun and moon will be there. You will still see something other than you. How will I stop seeing? Should I lose my eyesight? No. Then how? With while seeing everything, you have to know that all these are me. It's not by samadhi. You sat in a corner and you did remove all thoughts, empty the thoughts, go away, dropped all the thoughts, and then you're free for half an hour. Then thought comes back, you're again in trouble. No. Atmaikyadhihi. It is knowledge, it is cognitive. It's not that it's not that you don't see the sun rising, but you know the sun doesn't rise. Even that to me is Shraddha. Many a time. We have to give a better example than that. The plane that you see in the sky, it's not so tiny as it appears. Even though it appears tiny to you, you know you sit in a plane, and therefore you know it accommodates 250 of you at least. This is called cognitive, okay? Because we normally give example of Earth, etc., sunrise. But I'm saying, that could be just an idea. But when you see the plane which is tiny, do you or do you not see it to be tiny? You do. And you know that it's not tiny. Or some of these, garments that come nowadays, easy to pack, small ones they'll be. But you wear it, you can wear a big t-shirt, it'll become to you. How it becomes like that? That's the way the material is made. So when you see it, it looks like a child's clothing. But when you wear it, it's adult's clothing. Cognitive. The sight of it may be misleading. Right? So the point is, Atma Aikyam is not by changing anything. It is not an accomplishment that is done. It is already an accomplished fact to be recognized. And that alone is freedom. The freedom is to know that I alone am manifest in the form of all that is here. That alone is freedom. Like my dream world. In your dream world, somebody wants moksha. He's struggling in his dream. What is moksha? You wake up, it's his moksha. But that is accidental moksha. His moksha is when he is dreaming, he should see that he is you. When he is dreaming. So too, the only thing that will free me really is I know there is nothing but me, means there is no knower, there is no known, there is no knowledge. There is no seer, there is no seen, there is nothing to see. Yet everything appears. Seer is me, seen is me, seeing is me. Knower is me, known is me, knowledge is me. All that is here is me, which means what? I am not blind to the multiplicity that is appearing in the world. Despite the multiplicity, Despite a mind which is troubled, I can still say, I am not affected. I don't come and go. I am not changing. I am the unchanging presence in which all these as though dance. That is the only freedom. To highlight that freedom, what is being said, you study Shastras, you go to Bhagavan, you go to temples, you do this, you do that. All that finally doesn't count. What finally counts is the understanding you have. Again, the word understanding is difficult. Why? Because there is no understanding, non-understanding. There is no avidya, there is no vidya. There is only one reality. That one reality is me. That alone is freeing. And therefore, he's saying, this is what counts finally. Which means what? Till when should you go? Till when should you strive? Purushartha should be exercised up to what point? Unless, not unless, until you see this. There's nothing more that can be accomplished. Nothing more. See, if I say nothing more that needs to be accomplished, at least there's a possibility something else is there, you don't care for it. It's like saying you have a choice to retire or you have a choice to extend your service by one more year. You can choose to stop today. Something more could be accomplished, but you said enough. That's different. Here, there is nothing more other than you. So nothing can be accomplished. There's no possibility if you have a choice of saying, I have to accomplish something. The wholeness is recognized. That alone is freedom. Which means, till when should I strive? Till I see that truth. Until then, jigyasa has to be maintained. Until then, mokshutvam has to be maintained. Until then, purushartha has to be maintained. Whatever it takes. If not this life, you will continue in the next life. Continuity is there. It's not a hopeless situation in that sense. Therefore, what is being said is, all these are good. This is called Nahininda Nyaya. It is not putting down the study of Shastras. It is not putting down worship of Devatas. It is not putting down karma. But it's saying, finally, the freedom is only by knowing yourself to be free already. You were free. You were never bound. Not that you became free. You were never bound. And this, without that knowledge of yourself, even 100 Brahmaji's lifetimes. See, one day of Brahmaji is some, humongous number. Okay. So one day of Brahmaji is 4 yugas, one kalpa coming and going. The numbers are all astronomical, okay? Kali Yuga is 438,000 years. Next Yuga is double that. Previous one. Then it is 3 times, then 4 times. So basically, 4,038,000 years is one kalpa, Chatur Yuga. And that is, one day of Brahmaji. 100 years is one Brahmaji's lifetime. Even if 100 Brahmajis came and went, you will still not get moksha without that understanding. Which means what? Without understanding, there is no freedom which we are talking about. Moksha is purely in terms of understanding. That's what it's clearly laying out what moksha means. Atma eva idam sarvam. This is what it will take. So, what is being set up here, you can see, is what is this Vivek Chudamani going to talk about. So then it will talk a little more about these things before it enters the teaching. So right now, highlighting what is what. Okay, we'll stop here. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Anyone has questions, please feel free to ask. Yes, Vicky.
Swamiji, to do away with the sense of being free from the sense of lacking something,
Mhm.
uh, is it also going to come because we have fulfilled our desires during this course of life? Or I'm sure great minds found it much earlier in life, and today.
Correct. No, no, the point is this. What is being said is you're already free. Therefore, what is it that's keeping me feeling that I have to accomplish something?
It is the comfort of what is there tomorrow. If we were going through some kind of issues in life, whether it's family or it's relationship, will
Yeah.
we have the same freedom to think?
This is what I'm saying to you.
Yeah.
See, the idea that a freedom that you have right now is the freedom accepting your human identity, accepting your identity as roles. When you talk family, already you're identifying yourself as a father, as a spouse, etc., as a parent, as a son, you know, all these roles. If all these roles are your reality, there is no way you will get absolute freedom. It's impossible. Because how much ever you do you think everything you do will satisfy on one person in your life? One person. Any one person you can choose in your life. You just tell me any one person will approve of you. Okay, Vicky, everything you say is you're wonderful. You're just perfect. Will you ever get that certification? Where is the question of your being approving of the whole world as such either? Both ways it doesn't work. Therefore, this thinking that, will this knowledge make me be free in that sense? No. But I'll tell you what, if those things don't count anymore, they won't matter. What counts is your comfort, right? Now, let us say that you wish your son to pursue a certain education, and your son or daughter decides that, I'm not interested in all this, I'm going to drop out. And you have a huge value for education, and they drop out. Are you going to be comfortable? No. Why not comfortable? Because my son and daughter are not doing what I want them to do. I think they will suffer, and I can't see them suffer. Fact is this: they are suffering. Let's say they are suffering. It's a fact of life. What can you do about it? Your resistance is what makes you suffer. You're taking a connection there. My son and daughter is what makes you suffer. So, Swami, should I disown them? No. You do whatever you can, right? But understand that their life is their life. Therefore, if you can give them the best possible opportunities, but if they don't make use of it, you can't mess yourself up saying I messed up. You didn't. You did what you could. You take this to anything now. Let's say you're working hard and your targets are unrealistic as they are in corporate world, right? You get a target. Do you have a choice to modify the target? You may have a little choice, but not much. The target will always be to put you under pressure. So you're under pressure now. Who puts you under pressure? The target doesn't put you under pressure. I put myself under pressure. Is it not true? Therefore, who can free me from that pressure? Only I can. No, but I want to make director next year. Then I can't free myself. If I want something, that will be my pressure point. I want, but if I don't get, I'm okay. I don't want, but if I get it, I'm okay. If this is my attitude, my freedom lies only in responding, planning, doing whatever I want. Relatively, I'm saying my freedom does not lie in accomplishing what I targeted. That's not my freedom because there are too many factors involved in that happening or not happening. Therefore, I don't hold myself accountable for what's not in my hand. That is called realistic. That's objective. Happens fine. If we get into that mind frame, you know, there is no more a failure. There is only a desire not accomplished. And you're free to desire. Not accomplished, you desire, you accomplish 10 more desires. What's the problem with that? Accomplishing all desires is not my goal. To be able to drop and accept whatever comes is my goal. My goal is to be able to be objective to what is. Whatever comes, I say, okay, this is what it is. I'm free to change course. I am free to make modifications in life. It doesn't mean I'm okay and I'm fatalistic and just suffer. No, I can change anything I want, but I am not going to spend my time fighting what I cannot change. That is called relative freedom. And I'll tell you, even if you get that relative freedom, your next question will drop. Yeah. And that is why Karma Yoga. That is why Isvara in life. That is why seeing order, saying, my freedom lies in only in doing what I can. But I have the freedom to know. I should know what is what. I should know what is right, what is wrong. And if I didn't know, I take corrective actions. And when I know correctly, I follow that. But at every point, I can stand corrected. Correct?
Yes, sir.
If we can do that much, a lot of freedom will come in life. Otherwise, what happens? It's the attitude of saying, if I drop this, I will lose something. So how can I drop it? So you can't let go what you have in hand. And therefore, you don't have the space to hold on to the next branch. I drop one to jump to the next. And I can't let go. And in fact, all of us have taken certain risks to be where we are.
Yes, sir.
But the only thing is our risk return matrix is very personal. So each one has our own way. And the managers generally know. They will dangle a carrot and they also hold a stick. And they will make you jump through hoops to get there. But if you refuse to jump through the hoops, nobody can make you jump.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Swami.
Yeah. Any other
Oh,
questions?
Swamiji. Even for health also it will come like that only, We have to accept what it is.
Health. Yes. Health is also a challenge because anytime it can happen. And sometimes with a problem which is long standing, it's not easy because you feel frustrated. You have something and it doesn't go. You've seen 10 doctors, nothing happens. And it's debilitating in life, right? Could be. It may not be life threatening, it can be debilitating. It could be life threatening too. Somebody is told you have cancer. So the fellow now, half his life is already gone because he knows he has this dreaded disease. But what can you do again? Suppose I have a disease, what can I do? I have to see what can I do. If I can do something to get out of it, wonderful. If I can't, how can I manage it? That's what you have to do. So your freedom again lies in acting upon what you know. Maybe you have to make lifestyle changes. Maybe even if you make lifestyle changes, the disease won't leave you because it's a fourth stage cancer. It is going to get you. You have to make a decision. Will I go for chemotherapy or will I not go for it? Choice. Will I spend all my money in this treatment and family left with nothing, or will I refuse treatment? These are all choices to be made. Until I identify with this body, I have choices to make. Even after the identification is gone, choices are made, but the choices are not now constrained so much because you're free enough. But you're right, even if it's health, finally, karmani eva adhikara. We only have a choice with respect to knowing, suppose a disease, is this disease curable? What's the cause? What can be done? Which system of medicine can help? All these are possible. If nothing, prayer may bring about a change. Our Shruti, our Shastras talk about it. That Markandeya is supposed to die, but he won't die. Satyavan is dead, Savitri brings him back to life. All this shows the prayer can make the impossible possible too. Seemingly impossible possible. Right? In Karnataka, in Mysore, they talk about the fact that Tipu apparently said at some point, this Nanjunda, in this Nanjunda, why you go and pray to him? So they said he can cure things. So the fellow said, okay, pray to him. My elephant is blind. It should get sight back. If it doesn't get sight back, off with your head. They prayed and the elephant got sight back. So then Tipu would call Hakim Nanjunda. We call him Hakim, doctor. That Shraddha came. So prayer can also do things. So I'm saying, even in health, your choices, you exercise. Whatever choices you can, you exercise. But beyond that, acceptance of what is. That attitude of acceptance, seeing it as Ishvara's order, is something we have to grow into.
Om Swamiji.
Any other questions? Done. See, what's most important is this, that we have to stay at this all the way. Certain things we can accept, but we don't do anything to come out of that mode. We get into a comfort zone. In that comfort zone, we want to operate. That's a very typical situation we are in. We are not uncomfortable being where we are entirely. Therefore, we are happy being where we are. We'll study something, but it's not really acted upon by us, because it seems like life is comfortable enough. So we make those trade-offs, which is the present comfort seems good enough, but what is untrue is that present comfort is only present comfort. This body itself is not permanent. What's coming next, we don't know. But that seeming sense of comfort keeps me away. That's why we say the body of a devata won't help you, because you will never have discomfort, so you will never look for freedom from it. A human body gives you an opportunity to think, because there will be discomfort. So if there are no discomforts in life, we will probably never ever look for moksha. Because we will say, if life is wonderful, why should I look for anything? So every trouble, every challenge is really a knock, if it can wake me up. But what do we try to do? We want to remove all such knocks. We want to become comfortable. And if we become comfortable, then we won't struggle anymore for anything more. So somehow we have to, that grace has to bring us to understanding that getting laid back, even when life seems laid back, won't finally solve my problem. Today I am okay, tomorrow I might be sick. Day after I might be, my yama may come calling. That's when the question comes up. What will happen next? That's why Bhajagovindam says, Tasya yamena na kriyate charcha. So when yama comes, we should be able to say, yeah, come, no problem. Doesn't really matter.
Swamiji, I have a question.
Yes.
Could you explain, when you said free will must be used to free our will more and more,
Yeah.
could you elaborate on that a bit more?
See, we all have certain freedom, right? But that freedom alone you can use to make yourself more free. You have to, it's like saying, you have to lift a heavy stone. You somehow need the space to put a lever below it, and then you can leverage it. Correct? So that leveraging first you need, but then you can increase the freedom as you go. Right? So the freedom is to what? Freedom to desire, freedom to do, freedom to know. Jnana Shakti, Ichha Shakti, Kriya Shakti. Ichha, nobody has a problem. We all have desires, umpteen number of them. But again, those desires must be vetted by whether it's serving me or not going to serve me. I have a desire to snack on junk food, and I have high BP, let us say, and this high junk food is high on salt. Should I snack on it? It's my freedom. Jnanam tells me I should not. But my mind says, I love it. So what should I do? I have to use my free will to say, no, it's not going to help me. I have to say no. The more I say no to what I should say no to, and the more I do what I should do, even if I don't like to, the more I strengthen my capacity to will. The more my capacity to will is strengthened, the more things I can do correctly. Otherwise, what happens? I know what is right sometimes, many a time, but I'm unable to do it. I know what is not right, I am unable to avoid it. I'm unable to. And therefore, what happens? I slip. And when I slip, it takes me one rung lower. Next time, even the little free will I have, that will also be lost. Slowly, I will lose it more and more. So the Vedic view of life is your next life depends on how much free will you get in another life, depends on how much free will you use this time.
Oh.
If you use your free will, you get more free will, and even more
Mm.
free will, and even more free will. If you didn't use it, you will regress and you will be born as an animal with no freedom.
Oh.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Is this connected to suspension of free will too? The capacity to
No, suspension of free will is right now when you're listening to me, your free will is suspended.
Okay.
Because you don't decide what you will hear from me.
Okay.
Whenever you know the suspension of free will, and whenever you decide not to do anything, there's free will is used.
Yes.
But suppose you just do nothing. You're neither doing nor not doing. You're just letting things be. That is called suspension of free will.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Anything else? Okay, we'll stop then. So tomorrow, Brihadaranyaka class will be on, okay? For those who are in the class, we'll resume tomorrow morning. Right?